Hello, I'm Herman from the CFEngine development team, and in this video we're going to set up a Linux virtual machine locally using Vagrant and VirtualBox so you can follow along with the Getting Started series in our documentation. I'm doing this on a Mac, but the steps will be very similar if you're doing it on another platform. Note that there is a written version of this tutorial available in our docs, where you can click the links and copy-paste the commands and follow along. So see the video description for a link to that tutorial. The first thing you'll need to do is to install the software. So follow these links to the VirtualBox website to install VirtualBox and the Vagrant website to install Vagrant. After that, if you don't have it already, you need an SSH key. So I'm going to open up a terminal and type SSH keygen to generate an SSH key. Here you can choose the path and the passphrase, but I will just leave it empty to demonstrate. Okay, so now we have an SSH key. And as the tutorial says, we need to create a project folder and a Vagrant file. Let's do that. Let's do make dir CFEngine project, and then change directory into that. And from here, let's touch Vagrant file to create that file. And let's open Visual Studio Code in this folder so we can edit it. So here's the CFEngine project, and here's the Vagrant file. For the contents of this Vagrant file, I'm just going to copy it for the documentation, and we can take a look at it. So copy here, and save. And let's see. So this is the part that defines the VM. It essentially says we want a hub VM, a VM called hub. We want to use this version of Ubuntu 20. We want the host name to be hub. We want this IP address. And we want this much memory and CPU. There's also this part, and that's just to copy the SSH key we just made into that VM so that we can just SSH to it like a normal machine without using the Vagrant commands. So let's start this VM. I'll go back to the terminal here and type vagrant up hub, and this will start the machine. This does take some time. It might have to download the operating system or the box, and it does have to set a bunch of configuration once it starts it the first time. But you just have to wait, and eventually it will be up. All right, so now that it's finished, we should be able to log into the machine using SSH. I'm going to type SSH root at 192.168.56.2. Press enter. It will ask, are you sure you want to continue? Yes. And we're logged in and ready to install CFEngine on this machine. I'm going to type exit and go back to the tutorial. And we've finished this tutorial, and we can go back to the installing CFEngine tutorial. So I'll just go through this really quickly. I'll scroll down to this part. We need to install Python if we haven't already. So brew install Python 3. And I already have it, so it just tells me that I have it. And we need to install the CFEngine tools. So that's pip3 install CFBS and CF remote. I already have those as well. I can check it by doing CF remote -- version and CFBS -- version. Both of those look good, so we're ready to move on. And it says we need to find the virtual machine IP and username. We have that, we just SSH'd in already, so we've tested that that works. And now we would like to save this host in CF Remote so that we can just refer to it by a name throughout the tutorial. So let's do that. CF Remote save -H, and then the root at 192.168.56.2. And the role will be hub, and the name will also be hub. So that's saved, and we can test it by doing CF Remote info-h and just type the name hub. And that worked. It was able to log in and detect the OS and see that CFEngine is not installed there yet. So we can go ahead and install CFEngine. We'll use CF Remote for this with the install command. The hub we want to install is hub, and we want to bootstrap it also to just hub. And this is the whole command you need to type, and it will log in and copy in the installer and install CFEngine and start it with the bootstrap command. We see here the first log message is that it copied the Debian installer over SSH, and then it logged in and ran dpkg to install, and that was successful. And now it's running the bootstrap command, which starts CFEngine and all of its components. So that was successful, and we can just open the web UI. I'm running Chrome here. It says that this is unsafe, but that's just because it's a self-signed cert. I can click advanced. There is no option here to bypass it, but if I type this is unsafe, then you can do this for development purposes. The default here is admin, and we're asked to change it, so you can type a more secure password and save that. And we're logged in and ready to start using CFEngine in the next tutorial. That's it for this video. See the video description for links on where to go next. And thank you for watching.